morning's U.S. Bank Economic 360. U.S. Bank investment analyst Jim Russell will join us to talk about Europe and Facebook. Jim, welcome. Appreciate you being with us.
Good morning.
Let's start with Europe. Two big elections there in France and in Greece. What do you see happening there?
Well, there's been a lot of turmoil, let's just say. In the case of Greece, we had a May 6th election, and the way the system works is the election was deemed to be inconclusive. We're going to have a second election on June 17th. Now, here's the problem, Brian. The new candidates for the new election in Greece have indicated that they're not on board with the austerity programs that Europe bases bailout funds to Greece on. Greece is in the midst of receiving $220 billion in terms of bailout funds, and some of the new candidates have said, we're not going to cut back spending, we're not going to reduce jobs, and we're not going to raise taxes, and therefore it really puts them at odds with the European Union. Should that play out, it does appear that Greece will be leaving the EU. That will be a very, very messy and disruptive process. The financial markets, of course, are reacting negatively to that.
A shakeup of the EU really affects our economy.
It does. And in fact, one of the things that has occurred is, number one, growth has slowed down here and in China. And secondly, interest rates have hit, in terms of the 10-year Treasury note here in this country, an all-time low. So maybe good for first-time home buyers.
And big news this week, the initial public offering of Facebook stock.
There's a lot of enthusiasm around this one. In fact, with 901 million monthly users, Facebook would be the third largest country on the face of this earth behind China and India. So it certainly has scale to it. But we'll tell you that this is basically an advertising company. 82% of revenues come from advertising revenue at Facebook, about $3.2 billion in the year of 2011. That contrasts with, just to put it in contrast, about $1.3 billion for the New York Times, but less than 1/10 the size of Google. So, so a couple of mixed things there.
Pretty pricey, that initial stock offering, isn't it?
We think so as well. Certainly a wonderful company, certainly one that's growing, although the growth is slowing a little bit. But we think it's one of those good company, perhaps bad stock kind of situations because of the valuation that you mentioned.
Very good. Jim Russell, we appreciate you.
Thank you,
US
sir.
Bank. Thank you.